All right, and we are back. 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 Welcome. All right, and we are back. And today we're back with another reaction video. And this one's going to be a little bit different. We're actually going to be checking out a channel that I've never even heard of before. It's called Weird Food History. Now, I like food, as some people could probably tell. And I like history, as my YouTube channel has the history of that. So I think the combination of that plus adding some weird stuff to it might be cool. And this video specifically is about what is blue raspberry exactly. Now, this was going to hit close to home because blue raspberry is one of my favorite flavors. I know it's not regular raspberry because I know what raspberries taste like. I've had fresh raspberries. It's not the same. Also, they're not like blue in real life. I think they're like red or something. They're normally like red raspberries. I don't think I've ever seen a blue raspberry in real life. I don't know if they come out in that color. So, let me know if they come out in that color. That would be interesting to see if they have real blue raspberries and if that is the taste. So we're going to find out together, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You never know what I'm going to put out next. And also, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to Weird Food History, make sure you go ahead and check them out. Link will be in the description below. Don't just come over here watching this channel and not supporting the people that we do the reactions to. That's not how we do it over here, ladies and gentlemen. We support each other in our community. So speaking of, I want to thank everyone who has liked, commented, subscribed to the channel. Again, we are so close to hitting that 1,000 that it's like I can almost taste it, guys. So let's go ahead and keep it going. I appreciate each and every one of you, all the comments, any no matter what type of videos you like coming to. Some people only watch the raps. Some people only watch like the science. Some people only watch like the religious videos. That's why I diversify. So again, thank you to each and every one of you guys. And yeah, with that long rant out the way, I just have one last thing to say. Oh yeah, that is if you guys don't like, comment, and subscribe. More importantly, subscribe. YouTube will come through that door right over there, and they will. Weird history food. What is blue raspberry actually?
Everyone has a favorite flavor. Strawberry or grape or pina colada if you were the weird kid. However, there's
pina colada is not a great flavor unless you're drinking alcohol. I've had like one thing that was pina colada flavored and was actually like really good, and that was like recently. I'm pretty sure that was like some random pina colada. I think it was like the Farmer's House drinks, Farmhouse. Go ahead and sponsor me. That's like the only good flavor pina colada drink that's non-alcoholic.
There's an unspoken agreement that every flavor is based on something you'd eat in the real world. And nothing throws a funky monkey wrench into the works like blue raspberry. This Frankenstein's monster of sugary creations with its distinct electric color can't be based on anything found in nature, can it? Well, today we're heading into the flavor labs with one.
You know what? Also, I want to apologize at the beginning of the video. I'm pretty sure I said the name of this channel completely wrong. So editor, do what you got to do for that one. But it's Weird History Food, not Weird Food History. So if you guys heard me say Weird Food History, that was wrong. It is Weird History Food. Weird History Food. Look at the scientists. Shout outs to this channel.
Mission. What the heck is blue raspberry? But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel and let us know in the comments below.
Subscribe to Weird History Food. If you're at Weird Food History, you're at the wrong channel. I don't even know who you're talking to at that point. We're going to Weird History Food, not Weird Food History.
What other strange flavors you would like to hear about next? Okay, time to become a blue raz sommelier.
All right.
The flavor known around the world today as blue raspberry had a very humble beginning.
Really?
Originally, the flavor was invented by a company named Gold Medal. They were purveyors
Wait, Gold Medal. I'm pretty sure they're still around. I feel like I've seen Gold Medal products before. Shout outs to Gold Medal. Go ahead and send me some candy.
of cotton candies, snow cones, and other sugary snacks. In particular, they sold an array of flavored syrups with their snow cones to help cool down hordes of small children during the summer months. Hey, lightening their wallets a bit is technically helping too.
I mean, there's probably like 5 cents a pop, 2 pennies.
One of those flavors was blue raspberry. So why call it blue raspberry when everyone knows that raspberries are red?
Yeah.
The answer is simple. They didn't want to get sued out of existence.
What?
In the late 1950s, many people were suspicious of the alleged health risks posed by a certain type of red dye used in many raspberry-flavored items.
Oh, wow.
So being associated with the dye wasn't great for snow cone sales.
So they just added another dye that may have possibly did some other stuff to you? Come on, man, that's hilarious.
They also wanted to be able to differentiate the flavors from others that used the same color, like watermelon. Mixing up raspberry and watermelon is like tossing a hand grenade in an Easter basket.
That's
In
true.
1957, an industry-wide test was done, assessing the carcinogenic capabilities of the dye and declaring red food dye number 2 was totally safe. However, this test was funded by the food industry, so it didn't totally convince everyone. Red dye 2 was banned shortly afterward by the Color Additive Amendment of 1960, which set a higher standard of food safety when it came to dye and color processing.
Okay, hey, shout outs to them. Shout outs to this amendment. These are the type of things we need, people. I know some of y'all are like libertarians or whatever, but we need regulations, people. They are important. They do help. Regulations are very good. I am very much in support of federal regulations for a lot of different things, you know. Give me a thing. I probably want it to be regulated, maybe not like super heavily, but at least a little bit. You know, we should regulate everything at least a little bit. That's just my opinion. You know, that's me being a Sam Cedar fan right there. I'm even starting to slur my speech and everything like Sam Cedar. Yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. Look at me. I'm over here ruining stuff. I'm Sam Cedar.
So I guess people.
I'm also joking. I love Sam Cedar. He is one of my favorite guys. But like, you know, you hear him talking, it's like, oh man, come on, get on with it. Probably like some of you guys are thinking about right now with this.
We're right not to trust it. The flavor is an imitation of the taste of a black cap raspberry, which is white rather than blue, although it's sometimes referred to as a blue raspberry. Turns out, red wasn't the right color either. Today, no berries are used in this process. But back in the 50s, real fruit was still in the mix. It wasn't until the 1970s that blue raspberry really took off as a flavor, when the flavor met the ideal means of conveyance, the icy. The icy wasn't the first frozen
The goat.
dessert.
Shout outs to the goat of like one of the goats of frozen. Like if I had a Mount Rushmore of frozen desserts, the icy would be like number 5. The number 1, probably ice cream. It's like ice cream itself is the goat. Number 2, I gotta put like sherbet in there. I gotta throw a milkshake in there as number 4 or as number 3. Number 4, that's gonna be a tough one right there because then you got custard. You got like gelatos. You know, I gotta put slushies in the number 5 slot though. I'm starting to think Mount Rushmore only has 4 faces on it, but we're going to just do a top 5, ladies and gentlemen. And then I guess number 4, you know what? Was sherbet. I'm putting sherbet in as number 4. There you go. I'm sorry to all you, you know, frozen yogurt fans, everybody like that. Like, I'm sorry you guys are like 6 and below. You know, you might be in the top 10. Honestly, you know, it's like ice cream sandwiches, like that's got to be number 6. Like you know, like I'm sorry, frozen yogurt, you might not even make the top 10 of frozen desserts. Popsicles, that's got to be 7. You know, frozen anything else besides yogurt is like number 9. 8 is probably like you know, slushies or something, you know, like just regular slushies, just like, you know, root beer floats. You know, root beer floats. Oh my gosh, that's got to be in the top 10. I'm sorry, frozen yogurt fans, you guys aren't making the top 10. If I did a top 20, you might make it in there. Guys, comment down below your top 10 favorite frozen uh items, frozen desserts, frozen items. It doesn't even have to be dessert. I don't know what you eat frozen for breakfast, but throw it in there. If there's some type of frozen item you eat for breakfast that's in that same vein of all the 10 things I just named, go ahead and throw it in there.
To feature blue raspberry flavoring, but it was definitely the most popular, taking off with Americans in the
My gosh, I remember this. I remember this. I remember this. I remember, ladies and gentlemen, I remember this. Guys, I remember this. This thing you see here for so limited time, I had it for a limited time. I remember this. This was incredible. This was probably the best thing Burger King ever made, for real. Like, it was the Whopper, and then it was this. Oh my gosh, I want one right now. Burger King, bring this back. All right, guys, I already brought back the Cleveland Rockers, okay? When you guys see the video and you see, oh, the announcement, the Cleveland Rockers are back, thank me. I brought it back. I know it seems like I didn't because the video only got like 200 views, but trust me, I did. 100% it was all me. Bring this back. Burger King, if you're watching, BK, Mr. King, the king himself, if you're sitting there on your throne with your crown on, you're all shining it up, you're all looking at some peasants or something, doing whatever you're doing, Mr. King, I need you to bring back this frozen drink here. I need you to do whatever it takes to bring this drink back. This was one of the best things you guys ever did. I need you to bring it back immediately. No limited time. Make it forever.
1970s. Around the same time, Otter Pops introduced their electric blue water, and these two converged to propel blue raspberry flavor to unforeseen heights of popularity. Add to that the introduction of FD&C Blue Dye No. 1, and generations of people around the globe fell in love with a fruit that technically doesn't exist. Gold Medal, the brand most centrally involved in the creation of the flavor, was founded in 1931. They originally made their name selling shaved ice with Clix Cola syrup. Today we call these snow cones. It definitely rolls off the tongue better than Clix Cola syrup.
Oh
Frankly,
my gosh.
That sounds like the worst Star Wars character. At the height of the Great Depression, a man named David C. Evans borrowed $2,000 against his home. He used this money to buy the King's Ink business, which would eventually...
Oh my God. I don't ever want to hear old people complaining. If you were in your 20s, in the 50s, I don't need you complaining about anything financial, about what younger people are doing. This guy's got a lien on his house for $2,000 and bought a business.
evolved.
A whole business. What business are you buying for $2,000 these days? It probably costs you almost $2,000 just to fill out the paperwork to get a business these days. Just to get licensed, you got to spend $2,000. What are you? Oh my gosh, this is infuriating. This is infuriating how cheap things were back then. You go back in time with, I don't know, $5,000, you might become freaking the richest person in the world right now. You might be richer than Elon Musk if you just put your investments in the right place. Go back in time about 70 years, bring $5,000 with you and whatever old money you got, and bam, your family is living. Your future generations are gonna be like Elon Musk, who I own both Google and Apple somehow. Like, you know, right investments, right place, right time. You know, everything was just so cheap back then. Jeez, man, put $10 into Apple back in the 70s, and now you're a trillionaire. Like, come on, bro. This is wild. New companies, let me know where you're at. I'm trying to, unless you're a scam, I don't want to be involved in that. Don't scam me.
Through decades of experimentation and innovation into Gold Medal. Gold Medal's first product was a drink concentrate, which was sold at carnivals and amusement parks. A drink concentrate is essentially a drink with all of the water removed, leaving only the pure, delicious juice, or booze, whichever you happen to be making. In 1937, after suffering a setback due to a massive flood, Evans pioneered the invention of selling not just shaved ice, but shaved ice machines. He named them snow cone cups and began distributing the machines along with syrups, dispensers, and popcorn machines, proving once again that the key to success is accessories. Just ask Barbie. As snow cones took off across the country, so did Gold Medal's standing culturally. By the time 1949 rolled around, he had a massive office building and a gigantic factory manufacturing snow cone machines that were spewing blue raz ices nationwide. So while we'll probably never know who first brewed the flavor, you could trace the origins of snow cones and the introduction of blue raspberry directly back to David C. Evans.
Okay. So wait, do we already establish that this is just raspberry flavor, just a different color? You know what? I went on a lot of rants in this video so far, so I'm gonna try to remember. I think this is just regular raspberry, but they don't add raspberries in it anymore. It's just all artificial.
Along with the inexplicable rise in sightings of Bigfoot, blue raspberry took the world by storm in the 1970s. Are the two related? It's impossible to say. Whether or not it was spread across America by the noble Sasquatch, the flavor began to be featured in a wide variety of candies, including major schoolyard players like Jolly Rancher and Airheads. By the time the 80s and 90s rolled around, Blue Raz was the coolest flavor on the block for any kid worth their weight in Gatorade and sour gummies. And Powerade, if the store was out of the real stuff.
Bro, ain't nobody looking out for Powerade. Come on.
Not only was the flavor firmly cemented in the cultural consciousness, but many people forgot it's not a real flavor. There are no naturally occurring blue raspberries. During the flavor's 90s peak, it became part of the extreme trend of advertising.
I mean, yeah, it's a cool flavor. If you need to add some thunderbolts or electricity on a package, you gotta add some blue raspberry in it. Blue raspberry with the thunder, with some little electricity going around it. That's a killer promotional tactic right there. I respect
into
it.
Teens and adolescents, because blue raspberries are just that outrageous.
They're cool. They're extreme.
Believe it or not, there are more misconceptions around blue raspberry than just its name. The first misconception we should address is that despite being a fruit, sort of, blue raspberry is not a healthier choice than anything else containing tons of sugar. This probably sounds obvious to most of you, but during those years of time,
Who was over here telling you that blue raspberry was healthier? Who lied to y'all and was like, oh yeah, if you get the blue raspberry, that's better for you? I'm sorry. They should have sold you a bridge. You know, they should have sold you a lake in Idaho or whatever the saying is, you know, oceanfront property in Idaho. You know, they could have made a killing selling that to you. They should have told you to buy snail salt, you know. I don't know, bro. Come on.
telephone game style rumors around Red Dye number 2, the flavor somehow earned a niche reputation as some kind of superfood sweet treat. In general, your blue raz treat contains as much fruit juice as a melted blow pop. Speaking of which, despite being based on a real-life species of raspberry, blue raspberry flavor isn't produced using any real berries, and hasn't been for some time. The flavor, as we all know it today, is entirely artificial. Now, blue raspberry's extreme reputation and totally rad coloration may seem almost quintessential.
Okay, so I remember it was originally based off the white raspberry, but now they just created a whole new flavor of artificialness that they're just going with, and that's cool. Okay.
Fake American, but the flavor is more worldly than you might have expected. It's very popular in Latin America, Japan, and South Korea. Many places in Europe also enjoy rollerblading with the blue raz. As with many of our cultural exports, it has now grown in popularity across the globe, like the Fast and Furious franchise, which itself is quite extreme.
Did you just compare blue raspberry to the Fast and Furious franchise? What is even happening right now in this video? Hey, this is a good video though. Shout outs to the channel again. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. It is a great channel. That is Weird History Foods. Weird History Foods.
Okay, so we've given you all the sweet and sour details of the flavor's history, but you're probably still wondering what the heck is in it, considering fruit waved goodbye to the recipe long before most of us were born. In a nutshell, the flavor is a synthetic blend of flavor compounds, sometimes referred to as ester, which are carefully considered by chemists.
Whoa, hold on. What is ester?
Sometimes referred to as ester.
An organic compound made by replacing the hydrogen of an acid by an alkyl or other organic groups. Okay. I mean, that didn't really help
which
me,
are
but
carefully
thank
considered
you.
by chemists. They're then combined to reproduce and accentuate a flavor profile of various sweet and tart flavors. This is accomplished by utilizing ethyl butyrate, which is usually included for its pineapple-like aura, methylanthanolate, which brings a grapey flavor and a sort of flowery and earthy adjacent sensation,
Okay.
isoamyl
So it's like a almost pineapple-y grape, like citrusy flavor. This okay. They just made up a new flavor. This is
acetate,
crazy.
which brings a completely different level of sweetness, and ethyl maltol, which has a sort of sharp, almost cotton candy-like note. The radness is added by tossing the mixture into a washing machine with an Ultimate Warrior t-shirt. The mixture is topped off with a raft of artificial sweeteners and then bedazzled with brilliant blue dye number 1 and its retinue of stabilizers and preservatives. Blue dye number 1 doesn't go anywhere without a crew. That's why it's number 1. The recipe kind of makes it sound like a mad scientist's homebrew, and even the
This guy, this scientist they're using, this is ridiculous. Why is he sweating so much? Why is this scientist sweating so much? I know he's not making the raspberry stuff, but like for whatever he's doing, I feel like he's sweating a little too
the
much.
Food and Drug Administration has approved every ingredient for human consumption. History might
Look at that's not even sweat. What is this powder on his face? What is up? I don't trust this scientist. Like, nothing against him personally. I can't trust the scientist whose eyes are that wide and he looks like he got white powder all over him. He looks like he's on drugs.
be repeating itself. There have been multiple studies done on the effects of Brilliant Blue specifically. Much like its forebearer, Red Dye Number 2, Brilliant Blue has been linked to hyperactivity disorders in children and violent allergic reactions. Apparently,
Whoa.
some people are allergic to Ratatouille. Today, Blue Rat
All those kids? Nah, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say they're uncool. But does that mean to say that all the kids that don't like, that can't, they're allergic to the blue raspberry, they're just not cool kids? Like they just weren't cool? And like if you're an adult that also doesn't like the blue raspberry, you're just not a cool adult? Is that mean to say, or is that fair to say? You guys let me know down below. Is it mean for me to say that if you don't like the blue raspberry or if you're allergic to it, biologically you're just not cool? I don't know if that's a wild thing to say. Comment down below.
Raspberry is on top of the world. It's a firmly entrenched flavor, known and celebrated around the globe. It's also a flavor that only exists as a commercial product, which adds a strange novelty to its existence. It's the cryptid of fruit flavors. Maybe Bigfoot really was behind it.
No.
So what do you think? Are you a blue raspberry fan? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, check out some of these other
Hey, this is actually a great channel. Guys, shout outs to this channel. Shout out to Weird History Foods once again. Incredible channel. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know if you want me to, cover any of these other topics. Is there any grape and grape flavor? I don't know. What's actually in Cool Whip? I don't know. I don't even really like the stuff. I like actual whipped cream. It tastes better, so there you go. I really did enjoy this. Blue raspberry, it blew my mind. It's a fake flavor. Fake flavor alert. Blue raspberry, you're there. You're not a real flavor. You're fake. Don't come over me with all that fake stuff. Get away from me. Fake blue raspberry. You're not even real. You're imaginary. But I will be drinking some blue raspberry items probably in the near future. I love the flavor, still do. Nothing changes there. I'll call it fake every time I drink it. I'll look at it in this blue raspberry looking face and be like, you're fake. And then I'll consume it. So if you guys enjoyed this, if you enjoyed the rant, if you enjoyed me calling the channel the wrong name for the first half of the video, then yeah, go ahead and subscribe. It happens. Sometimes it doesn't happen all the time, but this was like the one major time where I was like, oh man, I really just mispronounced the name of it. I just thought it was Weird Food History. It's Weird History Foods, ladies and gentlemen. So if you like that rant, if you've made it this far into the video and you're still watching for some reason, I want to say, as always, thank you. I love you. Bye.